Welcome to Mastering Your Mindset. So over the course of the next 3 days, I'm going to give you a little bit of an overview on what we do when we're trying to manage our own mental health and our general mindset system. And we all think that we're very unique and that we, don't have anything that's kind of in common. We think that if we're having a mental health problem, that it's going to be different to the mental health problem somebody else experiences. However, we're not that unique. We all have very similar kind of mental health issues that develop as a result of, similar kind of experiences. But sometimes it's the internal dialogue and how we talk to ourselves about those experiences that then kind of leads into a longer term mental health issue. So part of the thing that I wanted to discuss with you to begin with is thinking about your language and how we use language to manage your mindset. So believe it or not, we actually have multiple different parts of self, and through the course of this little, short course for you, I'll talk a little bit about managing your own mental health system, what I call your self-management system, or your SMS. So we break down the different parts that you have, and we all have similar kind of parts, and I usually break it down into 12 different parts. When you understand those parts and we give those parts a name, it makes it much easier for us to then understand what's going on in our own mental health at any given point in time. And it allows you to use language to actually manage your mental health. And you'll notice that if you're feeling down or flat and you talk to everybody you speak to that you're feeling down or flat, it's very difficult to pull yourself out of feeling down and flat. But if you can try and I don't mean fake it till you make it. I mean, try and recognize that it's a temporary moment that you're not feeling good, and then look to use language to change the way that you're speaking to yourself around what's going on. Because the longer that you maintain that negative kind of thinking space, that voice in your head that's being very critical, the worse your mood is going to deteriorate over time. So this is about trying to understand, well, how do you harness it? How do you first recognize that negative voice in your head? How do we name it so that we can sort of separate and distance ourselves from it a bit, and then sort of get on with life and do the things that you need to do? There's a very effective way to manage this for yourself, and I'm going to teach you a little bit about it in this program. But if you want to learn more about it, there are other further trainings that you can actually undertake that will help you unpack your own system in more detail. So this is really just designed to give you a bit of an overview, and I want to make sure that you just get that general top level stuff, and then if it sounds like it's interesting to you and it would serve you, then you can dive deeper a little bit later. But the importance of language is something that we can't overestimate. When we start talking to ourselves about how bad we are, or how horrible we are, or how tired we are, or how, we don't have any energy or no motivation, what happens is we stay within the part of ourselves that doesn't have any energy or any motivation. I'm not saying that you should push yourself past it unreasonably, but I want you to try and change the language to more of a present tense. So rather than being in it, I want you to recognize that at the moment you're not feeling so great. But then there's an idea about, so what am I going to do about it? And it's always that question, so what do you do about it? And this is the thing that allows you to take control of all of the things that cause you problems in your life, is recognizing that there is first a problem, and rather than avoiding it, that we try and work out a solution. In reality, all of our management of our mental health comes down to how good are you at problem solving. And if you're not good at problem solving by yourself, and most of us kind of need an outside influence at certain points to kind of go, that might be what's going on, we can switch it around. And it's a really important element because it's actually at the basis of all of our problems in life. All of our psychopathology comes from this negative kind of self-talk that we get into. When we recognize why it's there, and we understand then how to manage it and change that dialogue, that internal dialogue that we're having within ourselves, all of a sudden everything else starts to change. So this is even the basis of things like imposter syndrome. The imposter syndrome is there because we present a certain part of ourselves when we're in a working environment or in front of others, but there's other parts of us that don't feel like that's authentically who you are. And yet, it's a part of you as much as everything else. All right, so I hope that intro really helped, and we're going to move on shortly to the next little video, which will be down here somewhere.